Thank you so much for having us today. We are so pumped to be here. So I want to start our time off with a question for each of you. And that question is, how many people work for you? Sit there, think about it. Do you know how many people work for you? I'm going to take this question one step further and clarify. I'm asking if you know how many people work for you to support your lifestyle. My name is Brit, as I mentioned, and this is Rue. And together we own a business called 2244, which was birthed out of our answer to that question.
So 3 years ago, I heard Justin Dillon, the founder of the anti-human trafficking organization Made in a Free World, give a talk on the direct impact that we, as consumers and business owners, have on others. Have you ever stopped to think, who made your shirt? How old was the child who harvested the coffee beans for the coffee you drank this morning? What were the living conditions of the people that worked in the factory where your shoes were made? Were any of these people paid a fair wage? Justin and his team put together an interactive quiz called Slavery Footprint that asks a variety of questions regarding your possessions and life habits. So think what you own and where you live. For example, your clothing, your food, your technology, jewelry, maybe your apartment or house. The results of this quiz gives you an estimate of how many people work to support your lifestyle. In other words, how many slaves work for you? So modern-day slavery, human trafficking, what exactly is it, and what roles do these terms play in our world today? Friends, modern-day slavery is an epidemic that currently stands as the world's second largest global organized crime. The International Global Organization estimates that this industry generates $150 billion per year. The Global Slavery Index also reports that there are 27 million people in this world today that are enslaved. And that's not just out there. 60,100 of those people are here in this country, the USA. Friends, there are more slaves in the world today than there have ever been in history, and each one of us here in this room has a direct hand in it. 3 years ago, these facts radically changed our lives.
Yeah, as you can imagine, this opened up a whole new world for us. We realized the impact that each purchase we had affects people all over the world, and we're connected. So when you think of it like this, you think of the clothes that are in your closet, the clothes that you are wearing right now that say, made in China, made in India, made in America. They're actually investments you've made in that company and in their employees. You're saying with your purchase that you support this. You support them, and you support their employees. When we think of it like this, we realize how much of an impact we have with our day-to-day purchases. A recent purchase I actually make that displays this beautifully is this bangle that we're both wearing right here. Our friends over at the Kula Project, which is an organization that funds local coffee farmers in East Africa, sells these bangles in their market online, and it is called the Coffee Tree Bracelet, and it's handmade in Rwanda. And for each purchase, each bangle purchase, Kula is able to fund a coffee tree that provides an income for one family for 30 years. I'm gonna say that again. For just one purchase of a $12 bracelet, a coffee tree is funded that provides an income for one family for 30 years. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like each one of us should be wearing 30 of these on our arms.
So what now? Now that you know this, what is our responsibility? How do we begin to transition into this lifestyle of consciousness? It's hard. It's really overwhelming, and the products that we need aren't nearly as accessible. What we found, though, is that just by starting and asking questions propels you into a journey of a new way of living. So we started by asking hundreds of questions. We spent hours upon hours Googling words such as fair trade and socially conscious and responsible, slave-free, eco-friendly. We called and we emailed and we visited companies asking for suggestions and advice. And at the end of this, we realized that there isn't actually a right or wrong way to go about doing this. You just have to start. Start by asking your barista where they get their coffee beans. Do they know the farmers that are harvesting the coffee? Search websites and their about pages. Do they know their supply chain at all? Do they know who are making or sourcing their raw materials or who are manufacturing their products? In the last 3 years, it's been awesome. We've seen a boom of businesses that are committed to offering consciously made products that are also aesthetically pleasing. So there is hope. We are excited about the movement that's taking place. We believe that this is a new wave of fashion, that this is the future of fashion. So the San Francisco-based brand Everlane is one of our favorite examples of a company who is committed to building a legacy without hurting their people. Their tagline is radical transparency. They clearly state on their website every part of the making process, from finding their raw materials to featuring the people that are making their products. Guys, the tide is shifting, and this truly is the future of fashion.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, we felt just super compelled to do something outside of our own personal purchases and desires to change on our own. We together decided to take it one step further. In 2015, after 2 years of dreaming and planning, Ruthie and I launched our business 2244. 2244 is a clothing line that is built on the foundation of transparency, generosity, and opportunity. This was built, it's our hope, and it continues to be our hope, to mesh our love for fashion and people with our desire to create positive change in the world. So all of our products here that we sell are made in Chicago, handmade in Chicago, with a percentage of the proceeds going to an organization that is fighting human trafficking. We have had the honor of working with 2 really awesome and local organizations, Traffic Free and Stepping Stone Network. And it's just been a really cool opportunity to work and walk alongside people that are fighting every single day to restore and rescue victims of this horrible trade. So we know this isn't the path for all of you to take to start your own clothing business. So we want to provide you with kind of next steps, practical next steps to take in your own life. Some of the things that we just suggest to our friends and our family is think about shopping at secondhand stores or thrifting. If that's not super appealing to you, then maybe save up a few more dollars, wait another week or month before you purchase another product. So make sure that it is quality and it will stand the test of time. Another cool thing that we've seen pop up here and there, and we'll be hosting one here shortly in about a month, is a clothing swap. That's a really cool option to just repurpose and reuse clothes that you already have in your closet.
So what we've determined here is that living ethically isn't a hardship in itself. It can be hard to figure out the first few steps to take. But guys, this isn't an option anymore, it's a must. We have been charged with figuring out how we can change the future of fashion and how we're living on a day-to-day basis. So as we continue to redefine what our needs are versus what our wants are, we have been propelled into this journey of transforming our mind. And what we've realized along the way is that living slave-free has opened up the door to experiencing a greater joy and deeper connection with the products we purchase and the people impacted as a result. 44. When I took the slavery footprint quiz 3 years ago, my number was 44. 44 human beings experiencing some form of oppression to support my life. As we've begun to take ownership of our roles in this lifetime, we've begun to experience freedom on a new level. Freedom for ourselves and freedom for others. So start small. Start with your next cup of coffee or your next cosmetic or household cleaner purchase. Think about the next watch that you invest in or the pack of gum you buy. Why? Because the people that make your stuff are worth it. Because those people are our people. This is community.
Thank you.